Hey, Andrew here at Shot 2020 with Mike from Swampfox Optics. What you got here?
This is the Blade 1X Prism. This is my baby for 2019. We've worked on this for about 9 months, and it's coming out real soon. At the end of the month, we're going to have these in stock and ready to go. This is my answer for all of the law enforcement officers that called us in 2019 and said, what do you got that's duty grade? What do you got that's suitable for the kinds of shooting that law enforcement is really doing, right? So we made this affordable 1-power prism scope. It's absolutely tough. There's not much to go wrong with a 1X prism, and it's dedicated for law enforcement and home defense only. So we have something in this. The reticle in this is very special to me. Take a look through there and you'll see there's a trident in the middle. The top of the trident is your standard 0 for 50 yards / 200 yards, the battle sight 0. The bottom of the trident is a 15-yard hold. The dot is a 10-yard hold, and there's a little caret at the bottom of the ring. That's a 5-yard hold, and it accounts for the optics height over bore. Because we have the mount built in, I know that this is 2.6 inches over the barrel on any AR-15 ever. Whether it's 7.62 by 3.9 or 22 long rifle or 300 blackout, doesn't matter. At 5 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards, it all hits the same because it's the mathematical height over bore that you're trying to compensate for.
Let me unpack that a little bit, because a lot of people, so I do a lot of gel testing, and people out there are like, why can't you shoot it right? It's right there. And I'm like, well, okay, so the rifle's 0 for 50 meters, but the center of the optic is here. So if your target is very close to that, your point of aim is right here, but the bullet, while it's inside of the barrel, the bullet is here, obviously, right? Yep. So you're going to be that, if you aimed at this point, you're going to be that low at here, or even over there. It's not converging very quickly. So inside of the room, that height over bore makes for some significant error. And inside of the thoracic cavity, no big deal. But if you're trying to make a low percentage hit on a small target, that's enough to cause miss.
This has got a big ring, and 99% of the time, you just put the ring over the target and you and you get good hits, right? Yeah. But what this is for is if you know the distance in advance, you know, say I know that my bedroom door is 5 yards away from the corner of the bed. Now I can take a tighter shot. Or if I'm a SWAT guy, you know, and I'm doing the stereotypical Dirty Harry, he's got a knife to her throat, you know, you gotta take a headshot. You have a way to account for that variable, and you're gonna zap the guy right between the eyes, and you don't have to float the reticle somewhere over the guy and hope that, oh my God, it's somewhere in there. Yeah. You don't have to guess. So,
and it doesn't have to be the movie Dirty Harry hostage thing, although it's possible. In a fight, it's quite common for there to be what's called a low percentage hit, means something that's less likely to happen, but it does happen from time to time. So the only target that you have is the guy's ankle that's sticking out from beside the tire. Well, you take the target that you have, you know?
Well, and then there's other applications like 9mm PCC. The height over bore is the same. I'm a PCC competitor, and I know I've got an array of targets at 5 yards, and you have to hit that little A zone that big. Oh, easy. I just got a hold. Tuck, 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 done. Yeah. And the guys with the red dots are going, hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Because you actually have a hold in this.
Yes, absolutely.
This has got shake-awake illumination. You put it down, it falls asleep 4 minutes later. You pick it up, it comes back to the previous brightness level. And everything you need is in the box. It's got an anti-reflection device. It's got the flip caps. The whole thing, you buy it once, it has everything you need. So it's duty grade. It's not going to break. What would you think that would cost? What's your guess? What would you give for one of those?
$300.
Pretty good. MSRP is, checking real quick so I don't see it wrong, $289 is MSRP, which means your street price on places like Optics Planet and such is going to be like $240. And my cops, the guys that nobody else is listening to, guys, if you're law enforcement, you're an individual officer, I'm going to get this in your hands for about $200.
Nice.
And it won't break, and it does exactly what they need to do, because these guys don't need a BDC reticle. They're not taking 400-yard shots. Everything that they're doing is in your face. That's what this is dedicated for, and I'm super proud of it.
I got you. That's pretty slick. It has a nice big eye box. It's 1X, it's not unlimited eye relief like a reflex would be, but it's pretty generous. I was playing with it earlier, and as long as you're in there behind the sight, if you're cheek weld is anything like a normal cheek weld, it's right there.
It's super fast, and it works for anybody's eyeballs because it's always etched. So like I have astigmatism, I still use red dots, but I have to kind of fight them a little bit. This is a lot crisper to me than a red dot is. You got an adjustable ocular, so you can set the reticle's sharpness for your eyeballs, which is really huge for a lot of guys that don't have perfect 20/20 vision. So it'll work for anybody, and I'm really happy about that. Yeah, I run these to the side like that. Is how I like to do it.
Yeah, you know what? I like them
one upside down.
You know what I do? I like them down because every now and then, eventually, it's possible for that spring to fail.
Yeah.
And if the spring fails, gravity holds it down.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
it's like the most out of the way for me. If I put them here, even with
it'll
them folded,
floppy a little bit.
It's still blocking view a little bit, and here, not at all.
This is important stuff.
Yeah.
This matters, damn it. So,
I'm right, you're wrong. It's purely subjective, of course. This is pretty cool. Does it come in pink?
No. It comes in red reticle illumination and green reticle illumination, where the first run is all in black, and we're thinking about doing them in FDE like this if people are still interested in that, You know how the fashionistas are. Flat dark earth is so out of fashion, now it's all coyote brown. Yeah, whatever. So we'll see, but I like the FDE. I think it looks good.
It looks sharp. I love it. Is this available right now?
It will be available right after the show. We're officially saying the beginning of February, but we might flip the switch to be able to sell them right before that. So this is the end of January. We're right there on these.
Awesome.
I'm super excited about it. This is an answer to a question that a lot of people have asked, and this is my answer for it. This is our answer for it. So
I appreciate it.
Next thing is, these are our second generation pistol dots. So this is an RMR footprint. We have two of these called Liberty and Justice. Liberty is the 1x22 standard window size, and Justice is the 1x27 slightly larger window. This is our second gen, so it's slimmer, it's shorter profile. It's got 3 times the battery life of the Gen 1 Kingslayer. It's got the shake and wake, where at 4 minutes it goes to sleep. You pick it up out of the sock drawer and it wakes up for you.
I like that.
This is ready for law enforcement, and it's ready for everyday carry. And the older Kingslayer had like a 4-hour auto shut off, and that was really a deal breaker for those applications. This doesn't have that. This is going to go. It's been on my carry gun. The prototype's been on my carry gun for 3 months, and for those of you who are concerned about legal liability, chew on that. What happens if I get in a defensive shooting at the gas station with a one-of-a-kind prototype? I have no idea, and I hope I never find out. But I've been carrying a one-of-a-kind prototype for the last 3 months, testing this thing out.
So let's talk about that, because why not? People, there are a lot of folks out there that write copy for gun stuff. They want to scare people out of using scary stuff. My personal belief is, and I'm not a lawyer.
I used to be. I got over it.
Generally speaking, you're a recovering lawyer.
Yeah. It's like alcoholism. You get better over time.
Generally speaking, you're not going to be indicted unless there's something kind of jinky
Pretty
about
hinky
the
to
shooting.
begin with, right?
That what matters is the actions that happen.
Right.
A grand jury is never going to hear about the optic you are using.
Right.
In most shootings. And a regular jury isn't going to hear about the optic you were using because you didn't get to trial because you acted in a legally justified manner.
So to put my old lawyer hat on for a second, if I had to make that argument in front of a jury, I would say the modifications that I made to my carry gun were made to enhance safety and accuracy, because I know that I am liable for every shot. So this has an accuracy advantage, which is quantifiable.
Yeah.
And I know with this that I have a better chance of hitting what I have to hit and missing everything else.
Yeah.
And this makes me a safer, faster, and more accurate shooter. And hopefully a jury of 12 good Americans would go, oh, well, hell, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know?
12 people that weren't smart enough to get out of jury duty.
Right.
This is pretty solid. I love it.
Yeah. Beretta was very kind to us and gave us a couple of shotguns and some of these APX optics ready pistols for our booth, and they look great, and people really like them.
I love that texture.
Yeah, I like the one without the finger
grooves. Does this take Glock mags?
No, this does not take Glock mags. So this one does. This is a custom Glock 34 done by Steel City for us, and this is the Justice, the 1x27.
Okay, so what's different? Because this looks the same as that.
Right, the window is bigger. It's not like SRO obnoxious.
Oh, it's kind of angled
curves out,
outward
right.
like that.
But it's still an RMR footprint. Yeah, so it's going to fit on anything an RMR fits on, but it's a little bit faster, a little bit bigger, but a little bit harder to conceal. So we're gonna give people the option: a smaller window and a bigger window.
Nice.
So again, on pricing,
but the features are still
the same. Same battery life, same shake and wake. All of the little improvements we had. These are going to be 7075 aluminum instead of 6061. Would you hand me the shield there, the Ironsides, underneath the bolt gun? Underneath the bolt gun. There it is. Aha.
Nice catch.
This is the Ironsides shield.
Okay.
Which goes around this. All of the shock and impact forces, if you bang on it with a hammer or you're racking it on the barricade, all you're doing is beating up your slide, because all of the shock forces go to the footprint of the slide instead of being transmitted through the optic. That's going to be an optional extra that's going to be super affordable. If you're one of those guys that, drop test stuff 20 times until it breaks, if you wreck this thing, okay, we'll sell you another one for cheap, or we'll send you out another one, but we didn't have to RMA the scope. Your scope still works. So that's an improvement that we've made for this generation. These are really going to be ready for the guy who really wants to conceal carry every day. I mean it, all day, every day, for years at a time.
Yeah.
5 years down the road, swap out the battery a couple times. You're going to be in great shape. It's still going to work. That's the goal on this, and I think we're going to make it.
Awesome.
What do you think for pricing? Where would you go with that?
200.
Oh, close. MSRP on
I only
those?
did that to you because I was over last time.
Yeah. No, yeah. So
this Price is Right, right? We're like close as I can get as long as I'm not over.
Right, and the guy down the line's like $1. Remember those?
Thanks, jerk.
God. So
200.
So
$199.
it's going to be MSRP is going to be $249 on Liberty and $259 on the bigger Justice.
Okay.
That's MSRP though, so your street price is going to be a little bit underneath that.
So I was right.
And again, yeah, and you were close. You're really close. And the law enforcement price is well under that. So we're under $200 for
I'm glad
for
that
officers
you're doing
on
that.
this. So it's again, my whole thing about being here and at Swampfox is we're developing our own stuff. We're not just taking what someone else is handing us and putting our brand name on the side, and it's the same crap you could have gotten from somebody else last year. We're developing this stuff, and we're trying to say, we can get you something very affordable that's not going to break and that's going to do the job that you require it to do, and for less money. And that's how we're going to grow this brand. That's how the brand is going to grow over time, by being responsive and really listening to guys. Want to see something really, really big?
Yeah, what's that?
This is Warhawk. This is a 5-25, 34 millimeter tube, flashing lights, spinning rims,
Curb
CD
feelers.
player, all that stuff.
Awesome. Let me see.
So it's a 5-25. It's got great glass, night vision compatible illumination. The locking turrets are really sweet. Excellent turrets in this. And you can see we've got it in our hostile engagement rings with one of our new Gen 2 red dots mounted to the rings.
Oh, that's as much
Oh,
as I get.
Yeah, you crowded a little bit. You're a nose to charging handle guy.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm in it. So I would definitely need the cantilever mount.
We are making a cantilever mount that's based on these. It's not ready for prime time yet, but it's going to happen. We're going to have a one piece that has these footprints built into the sides of it, and it's going to be super sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
So are the mounts sold separately from the sights?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And we've got them in 30 millimeter, we've got them in 34 millimeter, 1.6, 1.93. That's the new hotness for LPVOs, to go 1.93. And we've got 1.10 on the way for like my FAL. My FAL at home is wearing the 1.10 prototypes right now. Woo! Man, that's a good setup. I'm a big fan. So again, this is a Steel City AR. These guys really hooked us up for the show. They got some sweet builds going on. See how that's flush
That grip
there?
tape?
Yeah, they actually recessed this with the thickness of the grip tape, so it's all flat.
Yeah.
Like little, they're smart dudes, man.
Details. I love the skinny hand guards. Get all the way around there.
This would be a heck of a setup. You could get a lot of work done with this thing.
That's sex right there.
Yeah. So that's the Warhawk series is going to come out in we're hoping March. Okay. So it's maybe a couple months away. Also, the Liberty and Justice red dots they're going to be ready to go in March. The prism sights are going to be ready sooner.
Okay. And the MSRP on this?
Drum roll, please. It's going to be our most expensive. That MSRP will be $689.
$689.
Yeah, it's almost $700, but it's going to do
That's a lot of scope.
It's going to do the stuff that a $1,300 scope does.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to take the same shots at the same lighting conditions, and you're going to spend $500 less. That's the goal, and I think we're going to reach it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Mike,
Andrew,
thank you for your time. Thank you for tolerating my nonsense. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to be at a lot of different booths. Stay tuned. I love you.
See you on the optics forums.